Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and different ways that you can get creative with your iPad. So if that sounds like that's of interest to you, feel free to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so that you never miss a video. That all being said, let's go ahead and jump into the purpose of today's video, which is going to be doing my daily setup for the month of July. So I wanted to recap quickly. This is my weekly setup. If you missed that video, you can check it out up here. I will link it in the cards. Also, I know a lot of people are curious how I actually use my planner sometimes. So I do plan on doing like a video of my completed planners, but I'm shooting all of my setups in one sitting today, so I haven't actually started filling anything in yet. I also just realized that I put these photos on the wrong week, but that's okay. So this is what the weekly setup looks like, and this is a space for inputting memories, so you can just put your pictures there, and then I will just cut this sticker and then paste it back on top. I am going to fill out my morning habits, my morning routine, and just kind of like track the things that I want to do to have a winning morning, so to speak, that makes me feel set up and ready for the day. And then my sort of wind down routine at night, and then I'll just check it off as I go. This is probably the part that I really want to explain. Here I have a scheduled section and a task section, and then my meals. So the meals and the water tracker I think are pretty self-explanatory. I think you can do these one of two ways. So you can either fill them in advance and like meal plan for the week and then just try to keep yourself on schedule. I think that that's one way to do it. Another way is just to do it as like a tracker so that you can look back and see, like, I don't know, maybe you're someone like me who often skips meals because you forget to eat. I know that there are a lot of people who can't relate to that. I've heard this is like an ADHD thing. I am not diagnosed, but it would make sense. Would just be another one of the symptoms that I feel like I have, but I have a tendency to get distracted by so many things during the day, and then it's 8 p.m. and I'm like, what? Where are my meals? What did I eat? And so having a tracker is a good way for me to look back on that, because obviously I want to be eating regularly. It's a good thing to eat regularly, healthy for your body. I definitely advise eating regular meals. Or it's another way to reflect and say like, oh, I only had popcorn for this meal. I feel like I've been talking about popcorn so much this month. But yes, I think it's just a good point of reflection. So however you choose to use a setup like this is totally up to you. But the scheduled part and the tasks, this is like my, favorite thing. I really love doing either like scheduled things or events in one section, and I love doing tasks in another. So when I'm using my daily planner, I have so many things on my to-do list. During my weekly plan, typically what I'll do is I'll take anything that's scheduled, like a coaching call, a Zoom meeting, if I'm taking any courses, any kind of like workshop releases or module releases, if I have grocery delivery, birthday parties, baseball games, anything that has a set time, that is going to go in my scheduled section. These are the things that are not flexible. So maybe I don't have 6 of those every single day, so it might not fill up all of them, but sometimes I have quite a few that would fit the space pretty nicely. And then we have the task section. So I think general to-dos, I typically do have more than 6 things on the list, and that's where my daily plan comes in, like showering, exercising, dropping off the recycling, tidying up, creating an Instagram post. I feel like the list could go on, and I could just, in all aspects of my life, from health and wellness, family, business, education, I feel like all of that stuff every single day goes into my to-do list on my daily plan, and it's kind of overwhelming sometimes. So the way that I use my weekly plan is I will take the major concepts from my monthly setup where I do my sprints, and I have that list of 8 things, big things that need to be completed over the next 2-week period. And that's when I'll start to break that down into more manageable tasks that I can then put into here. So these are going to be the things that sort of serve a very specific purpose. They're not just everything on my to-do list, you know what I mean? So they all have big intentions. So my monthly planner is much more big picture, and then I break it down a little bit more into my weekly setup, and then I'll break it down even more into my daily setup. So that's generally how my planning process goes. At least that's the process that works for me. But of course, do with that information as you wish. Now, let's get into our planning. So we're going to come to the 1st of July and we're just going to start planning. So I already know I'm going to be using this setup like crazy. So I don't really need the meal trackers because I have that on my weekly setup. But as per usual, my non-negotiables are absolutely having the top 3 priorities section, having my timeline here. I absolutely need this. I know not everybody uses something like this, but for me, it's become like an essential staple in managing my time and setting like realistic expectations for how long a task takes me and how that looks actually planned into my daily schedule. So it helps me a lot with time management. That must stay. The to-do list, I can't live without a to-do list. And technically the tasks to migrate future could be a negotiable this month because I feel like I have plenty of other planning processes in place throughout the month that I think I would survive just fine without having this, but it also wouldn't hurt me. So we'll see. Ideally, I would love to actually start using my daily gratitude. This is probably the one thing that I am most inconsistent with, but I feel it's important, so I don't know why I don't keep up with it. So I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to start. And we're gonna pop in this element that we saved last month. I really like this. It's really working for me. I like the time that it saves. Honestly, I can't complain. If you want to see a video where I just put like all of my elements and how I create them into one video, then let me know in the comments because I think that it's just such a useful tool to have in order to speeding up your process. Okay, so how do I want to do this? One of the first things I want to do is I want to make sure I have images turned on, and I am just going to select all of these and we are going to paste them right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to crop each of them down to a rectangle. Now, I very rarely do this in advance like this, but I think that it's going to help me with time blocking in a much more efficient way because typically what I end up doing is I will just like scribble things in and it doesn't look very aesthetic and the job still gets done, but like I want it to look good, you know? So I am just going to, basically what I'm going to do is I will just size it so that it's the right width, and then the height is going to obviously be adjusted with each project. So we're essentially just going to save these so that they are easy for me to use every single day. So remember, this might take a moment just to get everything right, but it will save you time throughout the month and make your time blocking so much prettier. Okay, I love this. I should probably do this every month. Because now I can easily just copy and paste and then expand the width however many times I need to throughout the month. So hooray for this. Smart choice. Future Tara is going to be so grateful to me right now. What have I done? It's the wrong color. Oh my gosh. I just realized that. So I'm just going to magically redo these. Okay, and I actually want to show you, in redoing this, I realized a life-saving hack. I love finding ways to use these sort of like guides that I create. So basically, what I did to make my life easier was I used my pen tool and I just drew a straight line. I let it snap. I sized one of these so that it was perfect, right? And then what I did was I tapped on my image tool and I aligned it with the line that I had just drawn so that this center arrow was perfectly in line with that line. And then what I did was I circled both the handwriting and that image, and I lined them up again on the edge. And as you can see, those lines now match up because that was my original guide. So that is the absolute center of my timeline here, which makes sizing it out so much faster so that I don't have to keep like going back and forth and moving it. Because of the fact that Goodnotes scales from the center, this makes that so much easier. So watch. So now I can come in here with this tool, this little one, and I'm just gonna line this up. And once those lines are perfectly in line, I am just going to pull this like this, and that's Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so much faster. I love discovering these little hacks along the way. Okay, so now I'm just going to erase these 2 lines that I have here. And now this is all set and ready for when I decide to start time blocking in my schedule. Woo! And it's in the right colors. I'm so happy about that little hack. Okay, I feel like I babble so much, so I appreciate any of you who hang out and stick around for my videos. I never know when I'm gonna discover something along the way, so I appreciate you guys hanging out. Okay. I want this ombre. So what happens if I copy this one? I think we're gonna do this differently. We're gonna put some popcorn though. So I'm going to copy this and paste it. We'll just paste a bunch of different sizes. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just touch up a couple of these. So on this edge I have these 3 coming off. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to crop, we're going to freehand, and we're going to trace around half of it and then let go so that it snaps in a perfectly straight line. And then from there we can just line that up at the edge. Okay, and then this one, so let's crop it. And this one I didn't rotate, so that one can just be like this. And we'll just line that up with the edge. And this one is slightly rotated, so we're gonna freehand this one again, but this one is much more like on this side, so I'm going to start here, trace around the part I want to keep, and then just let this, I think I want it like that angle, so we're gonna let it snap there and rotate it just a little. Line that up. This is not what my intentions were, but I definitely kind of like that, so I'm just gonna leave it. In that case, I'm going to come to my yellow stripes here. Copy these. I actually really wanted to do something different with July, but I can't. It's too late. So I'm just gonna kind of make a heading here and just align this edge and that edge. We have to cut this and paste this one on top and then add our July text here. And I'm gonna have to add in the date. So I think we're gonna grab our popcorn, copy it, we're gonna paste it, and we're just gonna put it right there. Have I gone overboard with the popcorn, guys? Am I out of control? I do need to change these. We're gonna swap out these colors. So I need to grab all 4 of my brush strokes. Or do I use these? I love using the brush strokes, but like, hey, why not? So I'm just going to delete these. We're going to paste these. And because I have this yellow up here, I definitely want this yellow to be down here on this one. I think that size will do. I think because this pink is here, we can put this pink up here. We're leaning into the stripes. I'm gonna put this green here. So you have the choice, kind of, it looks like a watermelon. You could decide, do you want it like more vertical? I think I like them a little wider. So, and you could also crop this. You can make them thinner, thicker, however you choose. Okay, and this one's gonna go over here. Cover that space. Okay, we're just gonna turn on text boxes only, and we are going to grab these text boxes. We're going to cut these. We're going to paste them on top, and these are gonna need a little bit of adjusting. I sort of think I want them to be bigger, so let's resize them and just do it that way, and then just bring these back. I think both the black and the white look great, so I think you can pick either option. I think I'm gonna go with the white. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this, and I'm actually gonna change these all in color. So let's change the color. I'm just trying to figure out which colors are gonna stand out the most against each other. So None of them stand out all that much, but they need a little drop shadow. So I'm just pasting the white now on top of those other colors. I could have made all the layers underneath also just some dark shade. I don't know, I wasn't feeling it just in black, so this is what I've decided to go with. You can play around with that and decide what your preference is. So now I just need to turn on handwriting, and let's just change these colors out. So I think that I want to keep it the same, but I just want to take a quick look. What does it look like if I like use a different color? No, I'm gonna keep them the same. So this one's gonna be pink, this one will be green, and that one's gonna be the yellow. And seeing as how this space is actually just useless and just decorative, I feel like this needs to be like a note section or something, which I don't have. Do we keep going with this whole lined bit? Am I crazy? I mean, this would make an appropriate note section, right? If you want more lines, you can make it this size. So I'm gonna like line it up here so I can make sure that it matches well enough. Okay, and then what I can do is, let's see, I think I'm gonna put a little washi tape there. So I am going to tap off and tap back on, make sure I get it at this size. We're gonna copy it, paste it, and there will be like a little bit of overlay, and that's okay. So actually what I want to do is line up the bottom where I want it. And I'm also using the sticker that I laid down first as a guide for the left and right. But actually that blends very seamlessly. I was going to go in and like tweak it, but that seems to have actually worked perfectly. So what my intentions were, in case yours didn't work perfectly, is I lined up this bottom here, and then I was just going to adjust the top one until everything looked good. So just like this, you know, but I'm just gonna undo that because it worked out really well. So that'll be my notes section. I definitely leaned really hard into the stripes thing, but I think that's okay. So let's just grab then a little washi tape to put on top. So I think that the yellow is gonna be best. That looks cute, right? And now here's the problem. I have done so much popcorn that I seem to have forgotten about all of these other cuties. So we're gonna turn images on and grab these. There's so many cute stickers. I want to use them all, but my daily planner is like my main thing, and it needs to be super functional. Why did I go so hard for the popcorn? Okay, we're gonna make a cotton candy stand. So let's do, I don't feel like I have enough green, so we're gonna do it in green. I'm gonna just put it over here. Or maybe we just make it like a sweets stand. We can like put our little lollipop here. Okay, this candy apple I definitely want to be on top, so I'm gonna cut it and paste it. Maybe we'll do, let's cut these and paste these on top. Come get your cotton candy. Oh, I want the pink in front, just because the contrast in color. I think we might just like sprinkle some of these elsewhere too. I know I'm gonna need to add the text here, but I also think I want one for cold treats. So for this one, we're gonna take the pink. Okay, so we're just going to paste a couple sundaes or smoothies, however you want to call them. And we're also going to do some snow cones. If you wanted to, you could kind of like go the extra mile and put, like draw like a box or something that they're sitting in so that they can stand up straight. And what I think I'm going to do is let's make one a little bit bigger, and we are just going to copy and paste. I think I want 6 of them. Okay, and we're gonna alternate the big ones and little ones. So I'm gonna grab my image tool and line this up with the smaller one, and then match this one with one of the bigger ones. Okay, I mean, I think that's good enough. And then the bigger ones are gonna be in front because they're a little bit closer. So I am just going to cut these ones and then paste them. So now basically we're just gonna do like small ones further back and the big ones a little bit closer up. And we are just going to bring these over and resize them and maybe slightly rotate them until you get a look that you're pretty happy with. So I think they need to be about that small is good. And now I'm just gonna add a little bit of text. So we need one that says sweets and we need one that says ice cold. And I'm just gonna change this to a lowercase I. So let's turn text boxes on. And I'm going to resize this to fit the sign, and we are also going to recolor this. Let's make it the blue, and then we're going to bring this over and maybe resize it a little and change the color. I think maybe pink. Okay, and then we just have to add the date in. So my intentions are to use the yellow and write it in here. Let's try the pink. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like that very much. I wonder if it looks better with like a different number. I don't know. Yeah, it's not so bad. I don't hate it as much. The one just looks funny because it kind of makes it look like a coin or a, I don't know, slot machine or snake eye or something. I don't know. But yeah, I think that'll do. I'm not gonna fuss with that at this point. I'm just going to take my highlighter tool and add in a little circle, and then we're going to choose which color. So I think it should either be the green or the blue. I think we're going to go with the green. Yeah, let's use some of these. I really love the Ferris wheel. That isn't a Ferris wheel. I'm just going to put it down here. Oh, what if we do this like we did before? So let's copy the ticket and paste our ticket up here. Actually, I will angle it in a minute. Let's first match everything. So let's copy this and paste it. And then let's grab it and crop it. And we're gonna do a rectangle and just crop that space there. Okay, we're gonna add in text. Or maybe I can just add the July sticker in. Let's see how this looks. That looks okay. So now we'll just resize it so we can angle it a little bit. That's the one thing. I do like these colors, but there's not a whole lot of contrast, which can make some of the layering a little bit more challenging, I would say. Especially the green and the blue, they're so similar. But yeah, okay, so I think that is my daily plan done. I'm excited about this. I still have a space for gratitude. All of the functionality is still here. I have a notes spot, and my blocks are all set up. So the last thing for me to do is just turn on these three and save this as an element, because I most definitely am not going to go through and paste this 31 times right now. So okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I think it turned out pretty cute. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you've watched all three of these videos, my daily, monthly, and weekly, said that out of order, but if you've watched all three of them, let me know which setup was your favorite. I would love to know. But yeah, that's all for today. Just a reminder, this is the last chance pretty much for you to sign up for my summer session of my digital sticker course. All of the details are down in the description. If you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know. Reach out at any time, anywhere, Instagram, email, YouTube comments, wherever. I am more than happy to answer your questions, but I would love to have you join us. Would be so much fun. Anyway, that's officially it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And as always, I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!